And also, like, I see there are a lot of outside investor is investing in Riyadh, right? Yeah.
Yes, in recent years, there are a lot of investors who are coming to Saudi, and like if I don't talk about Riyadh, I can't talk about Neom. But I truly believe that if you want to have an AI startup, you need to have AI knowledge. Because if you don't know the limits of
Yeah.
the capability of AI,
Yeah.
I think you will overestimate what it can do for the customer. Like the culture at Mohammed bin Zayed University is very, also not in term of the students, but also the students with their professors. The students
Okay.
with their professors are like friends. We go out together, we discuss different matters together, and now, of course, the community grew bigger. But when I first came, we were only around 60 or 70 students.
Okay, we'll start your startup, but before that, can we start with your background? Like, why did you study and how did you get into this field?
Yes, so I graduated from Arizona State University, and I was very away from artificial intelligence in general. I
Oh,
majored in
okay.
electrical engineering, and during my last semester, I had only one course where I worked as an undergraduate teaching assistant, and it
Okay.
was for a probability class. And during that semester, I had so much time to explore and read. So
Mm.
because of that class, I wanted to apply probability theory in the real world,
Oh,
and
great.
I found what's a better field than artificial intelligence. So I started to read
Okay.
about neural. Yeah, I started to read
Yeah.
about neural networks,
Mm.
everything in general. So after graduation, I started to take a couple of courses, and that when I applied to Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial
Yeah.
Intelligence. And
Okay.
interestingly, that before that, I was going to work in a consultant company and
Mm.
in risk management
Okay.
department. So I got that offer and I got the other offer, and both of them seemed very good at the time. But I chose to do my master's degree in machine
Okay.
learning.
Great.
And when I started the program, I got very fascinated by how easy it is to build models currently with so much to little knowledge and detect patterns in the data.
Yeah.
Uh, what led me to what led exactly to founding Wazii is that
Yeah.
before graduation, I was investing lightly in the US stock market. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, but I found the process to
Graduation
be.
in Miss from Arizona University or Mohammed bin Zayed University?
I started investing while I was in Arizona in the US
Okay.
stock market, but I found
Yeah.
the process to be very tedious, where
Yeah.
you need to watch your stock, and it was a very tedious process, to be honest, for me. So
And
after
also very very unpredictable market, like stock market trading.
very
Yeah.
unpredictable market,
Yeah.
and I didn't have any knowledge, even the small finance terminology I
Mm.
didn't have during that time.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I did is, I after finishing my master's degree, I found that there can be a great connection between the stock market and pattern detection of the inherent
Okay.
randomness in the stock market. And I'm not sure if you have heard about Renaissance technology. Uh,
No,
uh,
I didn't.
yeah, it's a hedge fund that made a lot of money with
Mm.
algorithmic trading. And this was
Okay.
from the 60s, where at the
Mm.
time no one believed that algorithmic trading can actually yield very good results in the market.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what led me to wanting to create a startup company that offers algorithmic trading tools to people and democratize it. Specifically, we are focusing in the MENA region because, like for example, if you go to the US or in Europe,
Mm.
you will see a lot of tools in the stock market,
Yeah.
but you will find two main problems. The first
Oh,
problem is that it is very expensive to go and use an algorithmic trading tool. And the second
mm.
one is that you will find many people who are just trying to make money out of other people by promising them that they will profit from this. But we at Wazi, our business plan is that if the customer makes money, we make money.
Yeah.
Uh, and what we are trying to do is actually make all of the machine learning engineers in our team
Mm.
working daily to refine these algorithms and make them yield to better predictions. Because in the end, the algorithms will always need to change. There is no way that you
Mm.
have this algorithm and you say I will use it the whole time without refining it. So what we want to do, we want
Is
to
the
demo
you mean it is the continuous process, right?
exactly
Yeah.
the continuous
Yeah.
process of making the algorithm understand
Yeah.
now I can't make a decision, or if I
Yeah.
make a decision it's
Yeah.
gonna be a bad decision. So yeah.
Okay. It is not like the algorithm learn and it can like working, but you have to learn regularly the changes and everything, right?
Exactly. It has to learn
Yeah.
regularly. And what we are trying to do is, like, if you see in trading, there are two different ways of trading. Some people use something called technical analysis, which
Yeah.
mainly focus in the historical prices of the stock. And some other
Mm.
people, they use fundamental analysis, where they
Okay.
go and try to understand the balance sheet, the income statement, and the
Mm.
statement of cash flow, and combine
Okay.
all of this information to make a decision. But what we are trying to do now with the LLM, the large language models revolution that is happening,
Yeah.
is
Amazing.
how to combine these LLMs along with the technical analysis to make a decision that is better than what's out there and yield a good profit. This is the
Yeah.
question that we are tackling currently.
So how is the algorithm doing now? Like what is the progress of your model and others model like in the market overall?
Yes. So now we only started with the Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq 100 is 100 stocks with the biggest companies in the US. And the index in the past 6 months made around 8%. Our algorithm in the past 6 months, and it made around 15%. And if you go and
50. Yeah.
yeah, if you go and check our website, we are showing this prediction, daily prediction to people that they can use.
Mm.
But our plan, of course, is to make the investment through Wazi and make it fully
Mm.
operational within the next few months, where you can go to Wazi, register an account, use an
Mm.
algorithm that is there, and make it make decisions for you if you like these decisions, of course. But what we are doing now is we are introducing people to Wazi. We are showing
Okay.
them that these decisions are completely for free. It is being made daily in the website, and
Mm.
anyone can have access to these decisions. And if
Yeah.
you took these decisions into consideration in the past 6 months, you would have
Yeah.
made 15% in profit. Uh, but what's the problem currently? The problem is that people don't have time to buy and sell stocks, because what we are
Okay.
doing currently is daily trading, what we are doing. So I think people are very busy to take these decisions. So what we want to do is make it automatic through our website. Uh, and
Oh,
uh,
great.
yeah, and I want to emphasize on one last thing regarding that is that we are trying to come specifically to the Saudi market, to
Yeah.
Tadawul exchange, and make it possible to do algorithmic trading in Saudi Arabia and UAE.
Okay, great, great. And what are the model behind your like startup? I mean, like you are using LLM or other machine learning model?
Yeah, so far we are using both.
Yeah.
If like in our website now, what we are doing is that we are using LLM model to give the sentiments of the articles and the tweets. So we are fetching all of these daily tweets about, for example, Apple, Amazon, and see what people are saying about these stocks, and
Mm,
we convey to the user like if it's positive or negative. And at the same time we try to use a machine learning algorithm to make this prediction that uses the historical prices as well. And
okay.
currently we are refining this algorithm daily, so that retraining of the data is daily updating at 1 a.m. It trains for a couple of hours, and in the
Mm,
morning it shows the decisions to the people.
okay. And we know the like the progressive power of machines. So, what do you think about how far the algorithm can go in this field, like stock trading?
Yeah, I really believe that algorithmic trading can make it easier for traders to trade. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I don't think we have reached the level where it's completely autonomous. And
Mm,
this is our goal, is to try to provide a support decision tool that increases the probability of making a profit. Because I don't want to come and make a big claim and say uh, you will make a lot of money using our algorithm and all of that. What I can
yeah.
say is that we improve the probability of the customer making money rather than trading by
Mm,
themselves.
yeah. Yeah. And what are the challenges do you face in integrating AI in trading market, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so the biggest problem I think in any AI project or in any AI model is the data.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of models out there that can perform very well, and it can be shocking, but if you know linear regression, if
Yeah.
you provide a just linear regression model with
Yeah.
very informative data, I can
Mm,
promise you that you will make very good decisions in the stock market. So,
yeah.
what we do at Wazi actually is to try to find what kind of data is important in this day that will make the model make a better decision. Because I truly believe that the data plays the biggest part, and not only the data, finding the right data. you
Yeah.
can you can bring a good data and then try to process it, and you might make an okay decision. But with the same model, if you bring, let's say, an A plus type of data, you
Yeah.
can make 10 times better of a decision. So the question is how to find the right data and feed it
Yeah.
to the model. This is the hardest part. It's not the model, it's not the LLM, it's finding the right data in the right time, especially in algorithmic trading.
And also, I hear a lot about people talking about training the problem of training the LLM. Yeah. People are facing a lot of problem, like how to train the model properly. Not only data, but also like the process of training. People using fine tuning, reinforced learning. this kind of techniques. So do you also face training the model, like proper way of training with proper data?
Yes, this is actually a problem that we face daily. Uh,
Yeah.
we currently, like, if you check our website, we have a deployed model, and of course, it makes mistakes in some of the days. And
Yeah.
we offer a back testing graph where you will see that there are some of the days that it made mistakes where actually the price went down and we bought in the stock. So finding the right data to train the LLM or refine it, of course, it's a problem that I think any team that builds AI project will face. And we face this in daily basis, and we try to always refine it and improve the algorithm.
Yeah. And who are the target audience of Oji? How does it cater from both beginners and experienced trader?
Yeah, so far now we are targeting experienced traders and beginners uh, because we believe that as a trader, especially as a beginner trader, how many times, like, if I may ask you, how many times you wanted to go to the stock market and maybe you found it to be a tedious process or you were not sure where to start? I think many people they come to the stock market, they want to invest, but the starting point of making these decisions, they find it to be tedious, and they don't even in the first place start investing. So what we want to do is we want to have this platform by using AI to let the user see their profit coming and see the decisions the AI model makes, and if the user doesn't like this decision they can change it. uh, and this is our main goal, is to make the process much easier to traders, whether you are a professional trader or a beginner trader. So for example, let's say you are a very professional trader and you are making daily decisions and you trust your decisions more than any AI algorithms. At the same time, even though you trust your decisions, it's always good to have a second opinion.
Yeah.
And this second opinion might, in many times, help you to make better decisions. And
Yeah.
let's say you are a beginner. If you are a beginner, you will go read the news, look at the stock, but you might trust the AI algorithm more than your judgment.
Yeah. This is like philosophical question. I read Daniel Kahneman. So his book is like all about like error of human judgment. So he wrote seven, like one book called Noise, Bias, and several, like he mainly wrote about noises and bias. So in his book Thinking Fast and Slow, he mentioned like I mean 1950s there is some cognitive psychology studying is machine better in decision making or like a person. So from that time they proved that like machine can do better in decision making. So I think now is the time with great model. uh, so but the problem is, what do you see in the market? Like, are people being more dependent on AI or still experience or analyzing by themselves? What do you see in
Uh,
the market?
I think it depends. Like if we talk about the US stock market, for example,
Yeah.
there are today, if you go to a lot of hedge funds, they rely on machine learning algorithms on daily basis. So,
Mm,
for example, I have a friend who went to do an internship in Singapore in one
yeah.
of the trading companies. And he is telling me that there are over 100 teams, and each team they create their own algorithm and they go
Mm,
and trade in the market. And this
okay.
company, they make millions, maybe 100 millions of dollars in these
Yeah.
trades, because they try to uh, different family of algorithms. But the
Mm,
problem with these companies is that all of these algorithms are very confidential. And
mm,
actually, at Wazi, our plan is to show the decision of the algorithm, not the algorithm
mm,
itself. But
okay.
uh, but yeah, I believe now the market is gonna increase in the dependency in these quantitative methods. And as I mentioned before, if you go and read about Renaissance technology, it's
Yeah.
one of the hedge funds that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, make 60% uh, in a profit each year. And uh,
Huge.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and they depended on a lot of mathematics and computer programs to make these decisions. And because of that story, I believe that many people went and tried algorithmic trading. And there are a lot of successful stories, especially in the US stock market.
Yeah.
So now in the MENA region, in Saudi Arabia, UAE, if you can bring
Mm.
that and make people use it in the local stock markets, this can be a huge thing.
Yeah, also, and I said, like, I mentioned Daniel Kahneman, like, this is the future. So if you don't use the algorithm or model, you will lose. Actually, there is no other way. Like,
Ex-
especially this time, like now the algorithm is powerful. I mean, like last few years back.
yeah,
So
exactly. I think now, especially in this age, these algorithms, or I would say tools in general, can make
yeah,
you much more efficient in your daily
yeah,
life.
yeah.
So using them and utilizing them to your side
Mm, mm,
can very much make you more efficient and productive.
mm. So how do you reach to the customer? Like, how do you convince them to use your product? Like, do you say, like, there are some ways like cognitive biases and other things. There are a lot of problem, noise problems, so we cannot make the best decision. So you can use algorithm to make better decision. How do you reach the customer or the
Yeah,
audience?
that's a very good question. Actually, so far, all of our customers that
Mm,
registered in the website and that we are contacting, we didn't try to convince anyone. But one
okay.
strategy that we are doing is that we are showing the profits that you could
Yeah,
have
this
made.
is the yeah, this is the best motivation. Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
we show the profits and we are very
profits.
honest about the performance of our algorithm. We
Mm,
show
yeah,
exactly how much you would have made and how much you would have lost. So,
yeah,
so far, to be honest, we are not trying to convince people to come. We are trying to show people that
yeah,
you can make money and let them make the decisions for themselves.
yeah,
Because
S-
just one last thing I want to say about
yeah,
this,
sure,
because I really believe that like, for example, if you read the biography of Steve Jobs,
yeah,
what what he says, that during those days of the iPod, that all of the people in the team, they were using these tools, they were using these
yeah,
products, they actually loved these products.
yeah,
So
experience, yeah,
yeah, so we at
experience,
Wazi is the same thing.
yeah,
Me as an AI engineer, that I engineer a lot of these algorithms with the team,
mm,
we also personally use these algorithms in the stock market
yeah,
even before we release them. So if you really like this algorithm and you like the
yeah,
performance it does and
mm,
you use it personally, I don't
yeah.
think it will need any convincing to people.
Yeah, this is the best way of marketing, like giving the real experience. In this case, like profit. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah. And how big is your team?
Yeah, so now so far we are four people. Uh, the
Yeah,
three of us we studied at the same university, and
mm,
we are all equipped with machine learning
yeah,
uh, knowledge, and we have a fourth member. Uh, he is from another university, and he is a machine learning engineer as well, and a
yeah,
front end developer. So now we are four people working together to create these models.
yeah. And generally, like how hard it is to make a AI startup compared to the web startup. Like not in the stock market, but in general cases. Like, what
In
is your
general,
experience? Or yeah,
yeah, in general, I think the beginnings are very hard, and we are still in the beginning. Uh, but I truly believe that if you want to have an AI startup, you need to
yeah,
have AI knowledge. I think now there
yeah,
are many founders who come and they don't have some knowledge about AI, but they still want to start an AI company. I truly believe that you have to have the technical team equipped with the AI, but at the same time, the guy in the top he has to know what is this AI capabilities,
yeah,
because if you don't know the limit of
yeah,
the capability of AI,
yeah.
I think you will overestimate what it can do for the customer.
True.
So we are still
Absolutely.
in the
Yeah.
beginning. Yeah, we are
Mm,
still in the beginning. We are still trying to uh, make Wazii better and better. And inshallah,
mm.
we want to make it fully operational within 2 months, where anyone can go to our website and start investing in the stock market
Yeah.
using these AI tools.
Yeah, like you said, like to start a startup, you need the proper knowledge of AI, right? So I was thinking like 2 or 3 months ago, I started several tech startup and web startups. So then I got interested into AI. So then I found out, yeah, this is totally different from web startup. If you don't have like enough knowledge of web, you can start as a business mind or customer experience. But in case of AI, we have to know the capability, as you said. Like it all depend on the capability of AI, and the deeper you know the capability, the more you can give experience to the customer. Yeah, this is absolutely true. Yeah.
Exactly. And uh, don't get me wrong in terms of one thing. I truly believe
Yeah.
that maybe, like for example, someone maybe who doesn't know about AI, but at least the majority of the team, especially in the beginning,
Yeah.
they have to know about it.
Yeah.
But if only one person or two people
Yeah.
they don't have the knowledge, but
Yeah.
they go and co-found a company and they take care of
Yeah.
the business side, I
Yeah.
think this is a good deal for both parties.
Yeah, also like in the, as you said, the knowing the capabilities, like whole concept is based on the capability of AI, right? The how much it can do. So if you don't know deeper about the AI, so you will make some mistake in making big decision about the customer experience and other thing.
Exactly. The thing is, there are many problems now. They don't need AI. Many
Yeah.
problems that you can solve with traditional programming, and they
Yeah.
don't need any AI knowledge.
Yeah.
But you go and try to force a solution of AI and
Yeah.
becomes suboptimal. Maybe it will solve the
Yeah.
solution, but it's
Yeah.
suboptimal. Like,
Yeah.
for example, let's say you want to like the easiest example, do you want to calculate 1 plus 1?
Yeah.
It's so easy to write a code that takes an
Yeah.
like any two numbers. Let's say you
Yeah.
wanted to take any two numbers. It's so easy to
Yeah.
write a program and make them add these two numbers.
Yeah.
If you come and try to solve this with AI, you will need a lot of data sets that have
Yeah.
two numbers and their summation. And
Yeah.
then you go and give it to the neural network, and it might give you the
Mm.
answer. But
Mm.
you didn't really need any neural network for that
Yeah,
summation.
yeah, exactly. Not, yeah, not everything, right? You just waste your money and time unnecessarily. Yeah.
Exactly.
So about Oji, what are some of the success story? Do you have any success like story of customer that like you can share?
Yeah, so we started 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I hope that I talked with you in the future about this and I tell you a very real
Yeah.
success stories. But
Yeah.
one of the success stories that we have is for the founders actually, where we used the algorithm that we have in our website, and we showed
Mm.
that it can uh, profit. So far, what we are doing is that we are collecting a lot of data from the customers, and we are trying to understand what do they need and to meet the need of the customer. So, but our biggest story is that we have now in the past 6 months been training an algorithm that yields 15% in a profit, and hopefully, with our team, we will be able to even perform better in the future, and we will offer our customers more value in the stock market.
Yeah. And also, like another question, how does Oji balance between technological innovation and ethical consideration in stock market? Like, like ethical consideration is big issue in AI, right? So
It's
how
a
do you
very
balance?
Yeah, it's a very big issue. Ethical concerns are very wide, but I think in our case, since we are so far only providing an algorithm to the users with
Yeah,
numbers, we didn't delve into this kind of issues. I think this
yeah,
kind of issues will be more focused, for example, in the LLM training. And what you expect from the LLM or the vision to text models. Uh, but so far, in our case, we didn't delve into that since we are dealing with numbers mostly.
okay. And now like your model is mainly like how do you improve the model? Like what is the target of like maybe 1 year or within 6 months?
Yeah,
What is the
our
goal of? Is it making the model more accurate in prediction, or what is
yeah,
the target
n-
mainly? Yeah.
yes. Now the model is trying to just make predictions, but the team is always trying to understand these predictions. Like one important factor in AI applications is not the decisions it make only, is why did it make this decision. Because me
Yeah.
as an AI engineer, if I know why this decision was made, it will help me improve and refine the algorithm. So since we started the website, uh, and we offered this algorithm to people many times, during these past 6 months, every 2 weeks and 3 weeks, we refine this model, update it, and uh, see the decisions it make. So it doesn't refine itself by itself. The retraining only happens automatically, but introducing new features to the model, coming with a more sophisticated model, is the job of
Yeah.
the machine learning engineers, and that's what we are doing. We are collecting more data to understand the performance of this model and to try to make it perform better.
So, like you studied artificial intelligence in Muhammad Mujahid University, right? Artificial. So, then now you are in Riyadh. Like first, can you tell us something about the experience of your university and how, yeah, like startup culture there and like whole experience.
Yes, so from the first cohort actually. We
Yeah, first.
arrived to Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence in 2021, January.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was during the COVID days. So you
Okay.
can imagine how hard it is in the beginning, where we
Yeah.
had some of the classes completely online. But what
Yeah.
I want to mention about the university is that it equipped me not only in terms of knowledge, but it made me it introduced me to a big international community with
Yeah.
people from all around the world. So
Yeah.
so when I joined the university, it was around people from 30 different countries. And
Okay.
honestly, like as a first batch, we all got to know each others and we became more than friends by the end of the program.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
like the culture at Mohammed bin Zayed University is very also not in term of the students, but also the students with their professors. The students with their professors are like friends. We go out together, we discuss different matters together, and now, of course, the community grew bigger. But when I first came, we were only around 60 or 70 students.
Yeah.
So all of us knew each other, and the days I had at Mohammed bin Zayed University is very unique. Are days where I got different type of experience in the spectrum, whether it's knowledge, whether it's friends, whether it's connections. So for anyone who is watching the
Yeah.
podcast and you are interested
Yeah.
in AI in general, I highly recommend the university as we have professors from all around the world, coming from MIT, from Carnegie Mellon, and on top of that, they provide you with housing. They pay you monthly stipend, so a lot of the perks and life in the UAE. So in general, is very flexible. You meet people from all around the world. So I highly recommend it to anyone who is watching the podcast.
And also like we see a trend of student going to study USA or Canada or Australia or UK. So what is the like difference lifestyle between you studied in USA, right?
Yes, yeah.
So what is the difference of studying in USA and UAE and culture and like other thing, can
Yeah, so in the US,
like another question, like people should now, like is there, should they go to now USA or is there like other option going to UAE?
I think it's when you go to the US or you go to the
Yeah.
UAE or you actually go to anywhere around the world,
Yeah.
I think it's a great experience, especially for people who are doing their bachelor's, because
Yeah.
it shapes who you are. It gets you out of your comfort zone, and it makes you see people different like outside your culture.
Yeah.
So in terms of knowledge or studying, I think whether, like for example, in Saudi Arabia or in the UAE,
Yeah.
there are a lot of great universities that the same education you will get in the US, you will get
Yeah.
it here or somewhere else. But at the same time, the unique journey that you have in the US is not only in term of knowledge or classes,
Yeah.
it's in term of the exposure to different people, to different way of living, to it shapes who you are as a person. Uh, in terms of the UAE, I found the UAE to be very like international. You meet people from all around the world. So if you don't have the option to go to the US or to
yeah,
Europe, going to the UAE or Saudi or anywhere else is a great option, as long as it gets you out of your comfort zone. Because
yeah,
uh, I think everyone has their own circumstances in the end,
yeah,
but go, going to different country to get different experience, meaning different people is different, is unique. To be honest, uh, like I can't describe it in one sentence, but I really encourage anyone to go and explore and meet people from all around the world.
yeah, great. And you talked about the culture of your university. So, what about the startup culture of Muhammad bin Jain University?
Yes, so
Yeah,
the startup culture, and like 3 months ago, uh, Mohammed bin Zayed University opened an incubation center that supports startup for alumni, researchers,
yeah,
and Wazii is applying to one of these uh, support programs.
yeah,
So I think the startup now culture will increase dramatically since
yeah,
it just recently opened, and they
yeah,
are trying to support students to go and make their ideas come into
yeah.
life. Yeah.
That's great. Like university starting the incubation center, right?
Yes, the
Yeah,
university started
yeah,
it and support researchers, alumni, and everyone. So I think the startup culture will dominate in the next few years. Uh,
yeah. And this will change the world, like the proper knowledge of AI with the startup mindset, or yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
like people when they look at the startup and the research, like I
yeah,
worked in research for 3 years and it's amazing, and I got to learn a lot of things and publish
yeah,
in top conferences. But the problem I found in research is that you are tackling the problem in small scale.
yeah.
You
And
are
also
not
sometimes the artificial problem, not the real problem. Is this true?
sometimes, yes, sometimes you
Yeah,
go like in research, sometimes you go after a problem and then you
yeah,
find it's there, like it's the solution for it is very far away, or you are looking at
yeah,
the wrong direction. So research
yeah.
life is very sinusoidal.
And also the difference is, I think, in science or in mathematics, the main focus in solving the problem, but in business world, like the main focus should be the finding the problem, the real problem, not the problem I think or people think. Yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah,
in the real world, if you define the problem, and let's
yeah,
say you defined the fake problem, I would call it,
yeah,
you would
okay.
see the consequences immediately. You wouldn't need to wait
Yeah,
uh, for some time. You would see that there are consequences because you are not looking in the right spot
yeah.
of the
Also,
problem.
and if you like deload yourself, like you are wasting your time and money and everything. Yeah, in a startup.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, the business world is, I believe, is completely different than research. I
yeah,
believe that both of them complete each other, because most
yeah.
of the
True.
ideas that we see
Yeah,
in the business world or in the tech industry, they came from papers. Like for example, LLMs. It came from a paper in 2017 called "Attention is All You Need,"
yeah,
and this paper came from the research world,
yeah,
but at the same time it needed the business world to scale this research to thousands of people, so they complete each
yeah.
other somehow.
Yeah, and also like I am recently noticing in AI work, like everything is paper, right?
That's true.
Everything is paper. Yeah, you train a model and you make a good model. It's a paper. Like everything become like paper. Yeah,
You
yes.
know, and I feel now in the AI industry, like there are thousands of like in the AI, I mean
Yeah,
academia in general, there are
yeah,
thousands of papers that are coming yearly, trying to
yeah.
support the research. But how many of them having a real impact is the real question.
Yeah, yeah. This is where I think the collaboration need the startup world and the researcher world. The researcher should have the knowledge of a startup idea, or startup means like really helping the people with the research. If we combine these two thinking, research mindset and startup mindset, I think the world would grow like faster in this field, right?
Yes, you are right. Like if you go to the big companies, Meta,
Yeah,
uh, Google, and like they
yeah,
have a lot of their money go into research. Just for
yeah,
researchers go and they have fun, they come up with a
yeah,
nice idea, and
yeah,
then but at the same time they have very close collaboration with the business side. Like these
yeah,
researchers, they
exactly.
communicate their ideas, and
Yeah,
and then you go and you see it in the real world. And I think
yeah,
this is what sets like the universities from these big research centers, that their
yeah.
ideas go into execution.
And also, like you said, the incubation center of Muhammad bin Zayed University. This kind of idea of a university can change this, and yeah,
Yes, 100%. I think now students are very eager to go to the classroom, get
yeah,
knowledge, and try to find a way to connect this knowledge to the real world.
yeah. True, true,
And
true.
yeah, the university made a very big step in doing that. Uh, and you know, before they actually did that, many of my colleagues at the university, they were very eager to have their own startup in the future, and I think many of them will do eventually.
Yeah. Like this will change the culture actually. People will go to the maybe entrepreneurship class and they will learn how to get the idea of a startup and real idea. And you said the fake problem, they will learn about the fake problem and they will think about, no, I have to solve the real problem. I'm spending like 3 4 years PhD or masters. So that is how they will change the culture actually, the thinking culture. And
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I think is to make the students aware
yeah,
between the differences of research and
yeah,
the business world, and they try to be
yeah,
creative in connecting these. It will lead to better results for the university and for the region in general. Because now I
mm,
believe that the university is playing a major role in the region, especially in AI.
yeah. And also uh, like other field, the research or PhD papers sometimes become the thing of pride. Like I have to write something, or I have to have like several papers, whether it is like solving real problem or not. I think also this kind of problem may be solved by integrating the startup culture in research university.
You are
Yeah,
right. Yeah, this is, I think, the biggest problem in the research world
yeah,
is that
yeah,
you want to publish many papers, and
yeah,
I understand that as a researcher, as I worked technically in research for 2 years. 1 year during my master's and 1 year after graduation, and I
yeah,
can see that like sometimes you might forget what is the real goal. The real goal
yeah, true.
is to actually solve a problem, not
True
to go
problem,
on.
not the fake. Yeah, not the fake
Exactly,
problem.
the
Yeah,
true problem. You want to
yeah,
go and try to have an impact to the field. uh,
yeah,
and sometimes I think I've seen many researchers forget about that, and they only tackle
yeah,
deadlines without actually uh, being uh, like very thoughtful about the process of research.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and like I remember a quotation from Paul Graham, like Y Combinator. He said like startup is the place where the gaming the system stop. You cannot game a startup. You
Yeah,
have to
that's
have find the real problem, and this is very challenging. So
this is yeah, 100% true. Finding the real problem, I believe, is solving half of the
yeah,
problem.
yeah, exactly true, exactly true. And like you graduated from UAE, then why Riyadh? Like, uh,
Yeah, so now I'm currently based in between Riyadh and Eastern Province. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, but I'm from Saudi Arabia, and that's why I wanted to come back. And now
uh,
Saudi Arabia is changing. Uh, the Vision 2030
yeah,
is like Saudi now is going through a complete digital transformation.
yeah,
And as a Saudi now, in this time, I want to be part of this revolution that is
yeah,
happening in Saudi Arabia. And that was the main reasons why I wanted to come back and be part of this digital transformation and of all the changes in general. I believe many people came to Saudi recently and they've seen how things have really changed.
yeah,
And uh, a lot of innovation is happening here now.
yeah. So, like, can you say more about the startup culture in Riyadh or Saudi Arabia? Do you recommend people to move to Saudi? Like,
Uh, I highly
because
recommend it.
we're hearing a lot about their transformation, and they are investing a lot, and they are making Riyadh like this big hub. So,
I highly recommend anyone thinking about moving to Saudi Arabia for work to come, because in the next few years, I'm just gonna mention two big events that's gonna
yeah,
happen. It's Expo 2030 is happening
yeah,
in Saudi Arabia.
yeah,
World Cup 2034 is happening in
yeah,
Saudi Arabia, and that
yeah,
tells you why Saudi was chosen for these
yeah,
big projects. So the
yeah,
startup culture in Riyadh is growing vastly, and Saudi Arabia, like there are a lot of programs that are willing to support startups as long as they move to Saudi. Uh, so for anyone who is thinking about coming to Saudi, I highly recommend it because now it is the time to be part of this transformation that is happening.
yeah. And we can see the money they are investing to make their vision 2030. And also, like, I see there are a lot of outside investor is investing in Riyadh, right? Yeah,
Yes, in recent years, there are a lot of investors who are coming to Saudi. And like, if I don't talk about Riyadh, I can't talk about Neom, which is a big
yeah,
project that is happening. And they are building huge project there that will be attracting and already attracted many people from around the world. So,
yeah,
in terms of the diversification of these projects, there are many projects, and I believe that many people can be part of this transformation.
yeah. Also, in case of a startup, you need a lot of talent supply, right? So, do they have also like a lot of people you can hire to work with them? Like,
Yes, Saudi is like in general there are a lot of talents, but at the same time now I think many people uh, will be needed with the big projects that are being implemented. I think a lot of people, a lot of talents from around the world will be needed to to be present in Saudi Arabia and play a major role. So if you come to Saudi and let's say you start a business, you will find a lot of programs and support from the government to support your business. So uh, so the infrastructure is there.
Yeah.
What you need to do is to come up with the idea and start execute.
Yeah. And also, is it also like the foreigner friendly? It is becoming like foreigner friendly country, right? The foreigner can go there and live. Yeah. Can you say
Oh yeah.
something about that? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. In term of that, like me as a Saudi and
Yeah.
like my friends and everyone, most of them have international friends from all around the world, and
Yeah.
Saudis are very, very welcoming. Like sometimes you might be walking uh, somewhere and you get to know a local guy. Let's say you are in Saudi Arabia and they will immediately invite you to their house, like for lunch or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Totally
Yeah, so
different culture, like friendly culture.
it is a very friendly culture.
um,
It's very open to the
Inshallah.
world,
Yeah.
and people here like are very open to other cultures. And in Riyadh, like there are people now currently in Riyadh or in Saudi in general from all around the world that are working here. And I think it would be better to hear that from someone, from any expat living in Saudi, and ask them about their experience. I believe, like many of the people I have met here, they have a very, very positive experience.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. It was a great discussion. Or so we can finish
Th-
here. Maybe
Thank
it has
you.
been like 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour.
Thank you,
Maybe.
Musharraf.
Yeah. Thank.
I want to thank you very much for having me, and it was a really, really interesting
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You're welcome.